Dr. Sherry Vanderpool, and my company is CATTLEytics. So we're solving a lot of problems on the dairy tied to things like labor. So often when you have a dairy farm and you have people that are working there, there can be complications when you're trying to schedule shifts, or when, for instance, you're trying to keep track of all the things that need to be done during a day. So in those kind of situations, the solutions that people are using is they have a wall calendar and they're potentially taking pictures of it and sending it to people. So they're using technology. Are they using it the most effective way? Probably not. And as far as the tasks that they're trying to do, you often have WhatsApp chats with lots of different people on it, lots of different conversations happening within that. But at the end of the day, you have the person managing or the farm owner, for instance, looking through, scrolling back through messages to try to figure out, was this done? Who was supposed to do it? What's going on? Oh, they left for home. They're not here right now. And also on the staff's perspective, they want to do a good job and they don't necessarily know after they've done maybe milking, they don't necessarily know the things that have to be done right away. So it just helps with the communication. It helps with something they're already doing, but it simplifies it, makes it easier, makes it more straightforward, easy to see who's done what. And all of our technology we work with farmers to create so that it is farmer approved, simple, straightforward.
Okay, and of course, you took home the award for the business innovations or business solutions last night. Excuse me, at the Ag Innovation Awards. Can you tell me just about a bit about the process of development that led up to that point?
Yeah. So there's a lot of different people involved in the farm show, involved in the judging committee. And we've just continued to build our relationship with dairy farmers, industry, the community to help solve some of these problems. I think we're so honored to receive this award, but I think it really speaks to that network and that community.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of the specific values to farmers, how would you describe that?
Well, I'll get into in the case of the task manager. We started looking at the amount of time that was saved. So at the end of the day, I was telling you, you'd have a dairy farmer going through and trying to figure out who did what, did this get done. In a case where we went through and specifically quantified it, he was spending about an hour a day doing that. And his more senior people were spending about half an hour a day. And, the staff, they were spending maybe 15 minutes trying to figure out what to do next. So when we looked at that through a year, that was about $72,000 in savings, $6,000 a month. So $6,000 a month in labor costs, 72 grand a year. That's massive. When you look at labor costs as being one of the big costs on a dairy, of course there's feed, but when you're looking at that being one of the things that you have a fair bit more control over, getting those costs down just means savings for the dairy farms and way more profitability.
And have you been able to see those results across farms?
We've been able to see the results in lots of different ways. So sometimes we don't see results so big on the smaller farms, but I think that the fact there's other benefits as well. So one of the things that we're able to see is just a bit of a mindset change, because you have dairy farmers that don't necessarily want to tell people what to do. They feel like they're always saying, do this, do this, do this, and they don't want to be that person. If they're able to put it into an app, then everybody on staff is all part of the same team saying, okay, this is the joint work that we have to get done. Let's get this done for the day. So in those kind of situations, it's a better mindset. It's people feel like they have more control over their job. And so then they're more applied in what they're doing. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else specific you think you'd want farmers to know about CATTLEytics?
So we're definitely solving some of those problems tied to labor, but we also do a ton of work tied to data modeling and connecting data from lots of different sources. And sometimes that's the biggest benefit that farmers have. We'll sit down with them, we'll go over their numbers, we'll pull it in and create specific data models for their dairy to say, listen, when you were using this ration, this is what your lactation curves look like for lactation 1, 2, 3 plus, and this is what they look like after. And being able to quantify that difference between the two can mean a lot to them as to whether or not they make a choice to use maybe a more expensive ration or a less expensive one. So we know that dairy farmers have like a sense of what, what the effects are, but not being able to quantify it means not being able to make a decision. So we're helping them predict, but not only predict, then plan for what the future is that they want.